can't just put a key in that little hole in the wall and drive the house. It doesn't work that way.
No.
You just wake up in the emergency room.
Yeah, burn wounds and such.
Right.
Yes.
Hi folks, welcome back to Pop Up Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we are here to react to the new, freshly dropped trailer for Star Wars Episode 9.
Very exciting.
We know the title. I know the title.
I think I may have slipped my eye past the title on several social media sites, and I tried to avoid it, but I think I kind of know it too.
Do you know how hard it is to avoid spoilers for a Star Wars trailer dropping? It's kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of really hard. He mentioned it to me in a text message.
And what did I say?
Don't look at social media. But the thing is, right after
what did you do?
I looked at Facebook. But the thing is, right after he mentioned it in a text message, I saw a still image. I was like, no, I need to not look at this. And then he said, don't look at social media. And I'm like, well, Facebook's usually behind on a lot of things. So no, I think I saw the title there. So
lesson learned.
Yeah, don't look at the social media if you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, I've thought of that a million more times just to do what she wants. Anyway. So we're going to watch this trailer. We're very excited about this trailer. Yes?
We're very excited about this trailer.
Now, if you've been watching our channel for any length of time, and we hope you have, you know that we've done videos about certainly Star Wars in many capacities, from Star Wars Rebels to recently the Always fan edit trailer.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Also, just talking about Star Wars in general, especially in regard to fandom, and some of the difficulty that came after The Last Jedi, because some fans really hated it and some fans really loved it, and there's lots of division and strife and bad internet nonsense happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, but Heidi and I always were kind of landing on the side of we didn't think that The Last Jedi was a perfect film.
No.
But
hardly.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. And, I thought it was fun, and the thing is, I think the problem is, just to touch on the subject slightly, a lot of people went in with their fan theories or with expectations for things that had no basis in reality of the Star Wars universe. And so when those expectations weren't met, they were upset. And It's you're not the filmmaker, you're not the writer, you're not the director, you're not the funder, the producer, anything of those things. You're the consumer, and you have to enjoy what comes out, what they put in front of you, or not.
Or don't buy the product, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Do you think that some of the discontent with The Last Jedi, I mean, aside from just the nitpicky stuff that people want to harp on, do you think that some of it had to do with the expanded universe or extended universe, whatever they call it, that stuff being made officially not canon? So people had hoped that it was going to go a certain way that kind of lined up with that stuff, but since now there's really no hope for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no hope for that.
No.
But since there's no hope for that, do you think that that was sort of it felt like a kick in the teeth, maybe? Maybe
a little bit, because for the longest time before the prequel episodes came out, that was all that the Star Wars fandom had. There was a Star Wars Insider magazine that had lots of interviews, but that magazine also featured reviews about those books that were out there, comics and other things that were what kept people going in the years that there were no movies or no hope for any new movies.
Sure.
So people kind of kept that as part of them, and then to see something completely different that was not at all, and then to say that none of that was canon, probably what made a lot of people upset. Yeah.
No, it's just fan fiction. That's all it is.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Fan fiction's awesome. There's plenty that we've written and read in our time, and a lot of it can be a lot of
I'm just being a punk because people take that as an insult. I don't consider it an insult, but some people do.
Oh, I didn't even hear that start because I'm like, I don't consider it an insult. I was
just being a punk. Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I think I can see it. I can see being disappointed. But honestly, as a Star Wars fan, I never considered the EU stuff to be canon or to be real. To me, it was what I saw on screen, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was what people had to go on in the time that there were new movies and no hope for any new movies. And I personally, I really enjoyed the Timothy Zahn trilogy that came after. That kind of took place immediately after Return of the Jedi.
I think by far Timothy Zahn would probably be the most successful of the EU. Right?
Most successful, I think, most well known,
and still has work in the new actual canonical.
Yeah, a lot of stuff there. But I mean, there was he
brought Thrawn into actual continuity.
That was amazing because I love General Thrawn. Excuse me.
I know you meant.
Okay. But I mean, it was, way back when there was, a Star Wars fighting game for the PlayStation 1, and, Mara Jade was in that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was, people kept going with what was in the, the fandom literature genre, and it was great. It was good for what it was at the time, but now that we have these actual movies, this is canon, and you can enjoy the other stuff and just think about it as, alternate universes within that universe, and that's okay.
Sure. I never understood how a geeky, whiny kind of guy like Luke ended up with a hot chick like Mara Jade. That was my one disconnect from all that. But I never read the stories, so I didn't.
Yeah, there was some strife there. He was less geeky and whiny at the end of Jedi.
Sure.
And so he just kind of took a step from there, and still had his foibles and flaws.
No longer desperate for those power converters.
No.
But my feeling is that this movie. We okay? My theory is that with this and really considering some of what J.J. Abrams has said in the interim, is that there was no plan for these 3 movies going in. They didn't have a plan. They didn't have an overall plan. They had you get your movie and you get your movie and you get your movie.
I feel like they should have had a plan.
Colin Trevorrow had that 3rd movie, and they were like, nope, we don't like that.
Yeah.
And so he was going to direct. He's written the script. They said no to the script, so he didn't want to direct. And then they asked JJ to step in, and I think JJ probably, now this is all having not seen this trailer yet, but I think JJ probably saw what had come before, appreciated some of Rian Johnson's choices, but I think some of Rian Johnson's choices took away elements that he thought they would have fun playing with in the future.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see this trailer, to see if he retcons anything, if it insinuates that he retcons anything. I mean, this is just a teaser.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's 2 minutes
and 4 seconds. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get from this.
We can't say, obviously, since we haven't seen it yet. But I'm just interested to see just, tone, visuals, images, just, what else we're going to be revisiting.
Well, we know that, visually, we know JJ gave us a really fun ride in episode 7. Whether you love that movie or don't, it was a fun ride. It was a fun adventure, and so he's getting to play with characters that he helped create again. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I've been waiting all day to see it. So we're gonna stop talking and actually watch this thing. We want you though to jump down in the comments below. Let us know what you think. What are you excited about when it comes to this movie? We actually know people that are at Celebration. Totally jealous of that.
Yeah.
Very cool that they got to do that. So shout out to Chip and Mason, and I forget who else went with him. It was either,
one of the other boys.
It was either Clayton or Dylan. But
Sorry,
anyway, here's the shout out to the Smithson boys. So they got to go, and super excited for them. Totally jealous, but we are going to get to watch this now. And if your schedule wasn't what it was, we would have watched this earlier today. But you desperately needed to sleep, and I desperately needed to do
the things.
Yard work, which is just...
That's awful.
It's totally of the Sith, I believe.
Yeah.
But I got my yard work done. She got her sleeping done, and we're going to do this thing right now. After we let you know what we think about it, though, definitely become part of the conversation down below. And if you like the video, then be sure and share it around. That really helps our channel out. We love it when you do that. Okay, so here we go, jumping into the trailer in 3, 2... Always love seeing that.
Yeah.
Hello, Ray.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
Okay, we don't do this often. This is a special case, I think, a rare exception to our normal rule. But I think we should watch that again.
Okay.
That way, we get a little bit more perspective before we speak. Be patient. Now, when last we saw that lightsaber, it was broken in two.
Yeah.
It is the
We've
same
passed
lightsaber,
on all
yes.
we know.
Can't tell. I mean, she could have made a new one.
1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
Blaster, the Han giver. I believe it's the same one anyway.
Tatooine, Jakku, one or the other, doesn't matter. Maybe someplace new. You can assume who that is, but
It doesn't show us.
no.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
And that music.
It's Leia's theme, which makes it really interesting.
Ooh, droid down there. Love seeing Lando.
We'll always be with you.
It's a piece of a Death Star, maybe?
No one's ever really gone.
Something else.
Could this be like another part of Endor or something?
Maybe. Maybe. Of course. Of course, Endor would have been destroyed by that Death Star exploding right next to it. So, not really real. But, you know, whatever.
Real for Star Wars.
Real
We
for
don't-
Star Wars, yes.
Different universes, different laws of physics, and all that stuff. I don't worry about that.
Sure.
I don't worry about that.
I kind of do sometimes.
I always just assume that whatever is capable of happening in the movie I'm watching is capable of happening in whatever reality they're existing in. And I don't worry about it.
I think the laws of physics are constant.
In this reality, I agree. Maybe there's a multiverse. If one thing is true here, it doesn't mean it's true elsewhere. Anyway, back to Star Wars. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Or a story waiting to happen in one of my books somewhere.
I was going to say, and I'm by no means a physics scholar, so there's that.
Me either. But I love a good story. All right, so what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I did
Take me through it.
I did see the title. I did see the title when I was trying to avoid it when I was on Facebook, and I saw it, and I was like, that's a dumb title. I'm sorry. That right there, for the title of this particular one, I feel like it's way too on the nose. However...
Well, what do you think it means? The Rise of Skywalker is what she means.
Yeah, it could mean many different things,
Sure.
and it's fine, but I just feel like, everything else was kind of... This is enigmatic, however, I feel like it's not as... the other word I'm looking for, I can't remember, but just it's not as... vague as the other ones. And
Sure.
but let's put that aside. That's okay. And maybe it'll make way more sense after I see the movie or more trailers. And that's fine. I'm not, but right off the bat, I don't love the title, but I'm excited for this movie. I think it looks, what they're showing us right here looks amazing. Always, the music is always amazing. John Williams, just pulling in those themes, tugging at those heartstrings. And everyone who loved the original trilogy, hearing Leia's theme like that, I was like, yay, Leia! And I love that we see some Carrie Fisher in there, and probably Carrie Fisher stand-in, but that's okay.
Sure.
I love that we're seeing
They really
that.
didn't have much choice.
No, of course not.
It was either have her die off panel, which would have seemed
wrong
somehow, considering all that she meant to this franchise, or you have to find some workarounds. And
Yeah.
I know that they had some footage
Yeah.
that was did not make it into episode 8.
Right. So,
which is helpful, certainly, to
Definitely.
JJ in that sense.
definitely. So love seeing that. Love wanting to know who that is driving that speeder in the desert straight at Rey at full speed. That's amazing that she was able to do that jump.
Because clearly we're meant to think it's Kylo Ren.
Clearly, but
it's
we
the
don't-
ship that we've seen him in before.
Yeah, but we can't say for sure.
Sure,
We can
and
say-
they purposely don't show him.
Yeah. So, but
We
yeah,
don't get much of him in this trailer at all.
No, we get
him repairing the helmet. We get him body slamming the dude.
yeah, with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is he not getting sliced in half?
Well, you know.
Physics.
But yeah, so anything else? Any standout moments before I jump into the...
Love seeing that last shot on that staring out at that ocean with a piece of whatever that was, whatever Empire mechanical thing that was.
Yeah.
Huge.
If it's indoor, it's certainly not a part of indoor we've seen before, because
No.
we saw all jungle. If it's not indoor, I mean, it could certainly be a part of something else.
Yavin, maybe. No, Yavin 4 was probably not that either because it was more...
But it could also
different
be a
tone.
piece of debris that flew through after they blew up that last thing. And
Yeah, so it's hard to say, but
not much fun.
but it's nice seeing it, just kind of looking at the scale and the grandeur of everything that's happening. So it's just that in itself was really fun to see. So whatever it was cool.
And that laugh at the end, what do we make of that?
Oh, totally, the Emperor. Especially with what he said, nothing ever really dies.
How could that be?
How can that be?
Yeah, what do we think about that?
I think we don't know for sure what the Force Ghost rules are. So,
This is true.
So it is entirely possible he managed to figure out a way to come on back, and start driving Kylo Ren like he drove.
What was the thing about Plagueis?
He figured out a way to
cheat death.
cheat
right?
death. So
So if that's true,
then
certainly Palpatine could have picked up that little trick before he killed Plagueis.
yeah, I mean, and just kind of it's taken him this much time, 40 years later, to figure out how to come on back. But we don't know this, so we don't know the rules of Force Ghosts. But for sure, that was definitely the Emperor's laugh.
Yeah, I mean the main narration we get there is Luke, so we can
Yeah.
assume that there's going to be some sort of Force Ghost Luke, or at least the voice of Luke speaking to Rey. And really, that's all. I mean, like, in other words, I wouldn't be disappointed if Mark Hamill is not in this physically, because we do know that, like, Qui-Gon, we heard Qui-Gon's voice when he hadn't quite mastered the stuff yet. So,
Yeah.
but we still heard his voice. So maybe Luke isn't quite there where he's just popping up as a Force Ghost, but, so if Mark wanted to take a movie off.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The last one.
Yeah, but I
whatever.
mean,
Yeah, and I love, so kind of tagging on to the theme from the last movie, Every Generation Has a Legend, saying that, Luke Skywalker was that generation's legend. We don't know quite who it's going to be. I mean, we can assume it would be Rey. However, there might be other things going on, other things in play that we don't quite know about yet, but just that it's not just all about the Skywalkers. It's, somebody new might be popping up, which I like, despite the fact that it's called Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So,
Now, I have a theory about the name.
that it's a demon, a dancing demon.
No.
Something is
That's a
right
Buffy
there.
thing. No, this is a theory that will probably not pan out, but I just want to put it on record. Because if I'm right, I'm going to look back at this video and go, look at how cool I was. Okay, so...
I like that he's pointing at me saying how cool he was.
Yeah, well,
Good
you're
choice.
the coolest thing about me.
Good choice.
So, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm not as up on my Star Wars lore as your average Ken Knapsack. But I have bits and pieces floating around back there, okay? So I think that Luke Skywalker's name was not originally Luke Skywalker, right?
No,
it was Starkiller.
It was Luke Starkiller, yes.
Okay. But Luke Starkiller was, I think there was the term Skywalker that referred to a group, right? He was like a Skywalker, like a part of a group or whatever. So here's my thought. We learned in that last film that the Force, right, that the Jedi weren't the answer.
No.
The Sith aren't the answer.
Definitely
clearly,
not.
right? So what if finding balance between what the Jedi were and what the Sith were
Or want.
is becoming a Skywalker? What if Rise of the Skywalker is a group? It's whatever this new incarnation of Jedi will be,
Or
like
force,
a new order.
force users, or whatever
Right.
you want to call
a
them.
new
Skywalkers.
a new order of
Calling
because Luke doesn't fit the mold of a typical
Jedi.
Jedi.
Never. No.
Because he started too late and all sorts of other things, but he did kind of become his own thing.
Yeah.
We learned through shows like Rebels that there's something very important about the balance, and it's just not the light and the dark. It's also the gray, the kind of in between.
Mm-hmm.
So what if that is not saying it's the rise of like it's Rey that's going to be their kid, or it's Kylo that's going to be redeemed. Maybe it's not saying either one of those things. Maybe it's saying that it's the rise of something new. It's the beginning of something that has Luke's sort of legend that carries it forward, but that it's this new balanced sort of.
If we publish this and you're right, and if somebody catches wind of it, we may have a weird knock at our door in the middle of the night.
I'm not afraid of Kathleen Kennedy. I'm much taller than she is, and she's pretty nice. Like I don't think I mean, her attorneys might not be nice.
Are they in cahoots with the WB?
No.
Okay, because
Paris the thought.
I know. I was gonna say because I think that shadow executive will come after me at some point in time. So there's that. So.
Yeah, you gotta watch those.
Yeah.
I think as far as the main Disney sort of thing goes, I think you're much more likely to get a knock on the door for predicting correctly a Marvel thing.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my crazy theory. I will say just sort of randomly, I love seeing Billy D. Williams back as Lando.
Yay!
Very happy to see him there. I knew he was going to be in it, but nice to see him. And I know he was like doing some training and stuff to get ready for this.
I know,
to get
he
himself
looks
back.
great.
Yeah,
like
he looks
I mean,
awesome.
he's got to be at least like halfway through his 60s.
I'm not even going to guess.
At least I don't know how old he is, but at least.
I bet he's older than that.
Well, I'm trying to be nice too.
Well, it's not.
Okay,
It's not nice to call somebody by their age, but I mean, he's getting up there.
He is,
and he looks great.
He looks fantastic.
So nice, and then we saw C-3PO. I know in a shot. I wasn't paying attention. Did we see?
I think we might have seen BB-8 for sure.
We saw BB-8 for sure, next to another droid that I didn't recognize.
No, and I don't remember seeing R2, but I'm sure if we slowed this down and watched it again, we probably would. We're not going to do that again for you.
No, but
we'll probably do it again off camera.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna watch this on the big screen as soon as I can.
Yeah.
So this is basically just our random thoughts on this trailer.
Yeah.
But we want to know what you think. What did we miss in this trailer? Because I bet we did.
Oh, yeah.
Missed something. So let us know in the comments below what we missed. Also, let me know what you think about my theory and what theories you have of your own. I definitely want to hear those. So jump into those comments as well. We actually do enjoy engaging with you guys. We don't get a ton of comments, but I try to at least like or comment, reply to whatever we get there. And sometimes Heidi does if she's home from work and not exhausted.
Not falling asleep. Sorry.
But yeah, so we love that sort of interaction, so be sure and do that. But if you like this video,
hit the thumbs up.
And consider subscribing to the channel. We need you on board here. It keeps us doing what we're doing. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified the next time we drop one of these. And until the next time.
Bye.
Bye.